Hi, it's Nick Bond from Harcourts, and it's my pleasure to introduce to you today one of the most energy efficient homes I've ever seen, and its owner designer Graham. How are you today, Graham?
Good, thanks Nick, welcome.
Thanks. Why did you choose this block of land when you were searching a few years ago to construct your home on?
There were several things we were looking for in the block of land. Northern aspect for passive solar design, and we wanted to be close enough to Hobart to commute for jobs but have a quiet rural setting, and we wanted to be far enough away from the road so that we didn't have a lot of traffic noise.
Now that's one impressive driveway. Let's have a look at what you've done in the way of improvements outside.
The driveway was one of the biggest investments. After gravelling it several times and having it washed away in the rain, we decided to invest in sealing it properly, and it's proved to be worth it in the end. We spent a lot of time rehabilitating the pastures because they were all blackberries and thistle and gorse, and then gradually by hand sort of removed all the weeds and have got it to a good standard of pasture. We've also had the pastures yeomans ploughed so that they aerate and the water gets down to the roots a lot better than it did before. So we decided to electric fence all the pasture so that we could utilise the cows to keep the grass down. We also invested in wallaby-proof fencing so that we could have a good vegetable garden area, keep them out of the chooks, especially quolls, and also to have a nice garden area next to the house with good grass.
Now let's take a look at the home. You've certainly got some unique thermal mass solutions and insulation inside of the home, Graham.
Yeah, with the perfect northern orientation, we wanted to maximise the passive solar gain, which is why we have a lot of glazing on the north face. We've also designed the veranda so there's plenty of winter sun, but no summer heat coming through the front glazing. But neither of us particularly likes walking on polished concrete floors all the time, and so one of our compromises was to introduce thermal mass into the ceiling with the use of phase change material, which actually operates a lot more effectively than a concrete slab, and so that really regulates the temperature during the year, and we very rarely need to fire the wood heater up.
Can you tell me a little bit more about phase change material? Something I'd never heard of until I had a look at your property the other day.
Yeah, it's fairly new to Australia, and our house was the first one to try it in Tasmania. Basically, it's pockets of vegetable oil that have been manufactured to operate in a certain temperature range, between 18 and 25 degrees, as thermal mass. And so during the day, as heat rises in the house, that heat's absorbed by the phase change material, and it gradually changes its phase from a solid to a liquid.
Yep.
And then when the temperature cools down at night and the inside temperature starts going below 22 to 20 degrees, then the phase change material starts releasing that heat into the environment and creating a comfort level for the occupants. And it goes through that cycle every day.
Okay, and you've also beefed up the insulation a little bit more than most homes do.
Yeah, it started off with R2.5 in the main living area, and then in the office and around the southern walls we put R4. The ceilings have R3.5 above the thermal mass, the phase change material, and then a roof blanket of R1.3, so a total of 4.8 in the roof. And we found that's been sufficient to keep the temperature really comfortable during the winter and the summer. One of the most important aspects of an energy efficient home is high performance windows, particularly in a cold climate like Tasmania. So we invested in custom built timber windows with double glazing, argon filled and low E coating. And to be sustainable, we wanted to keep our energy consumption as low as possible. So we installed LED lighting and compact fluorescence in all the fixtures. We also installed 3.7 kilowatts of solar power, and that gives us a net energy credit on an annual basis.
So there's more than sufficient water set up for the property as well. Can you tell me how you've designed that?
So because of our concern about global warming and drier climate developing even in Tasmania over time, we decided we want to have good water supply, both from the dam and from the rainwater catchment. So the dam is reticulated gravity feed down to the vegetable garden and to the chooks, but also to the house for garden watering.
Yep.
And we've got ample, approximately 50,000 litres of rainwater storage, and that supplies the house. We're collecting off the hay shed as well, and that's pumped up to a header tank that's used for gravity feed when the power's out, but also to supply the fire hydrant for firefighting.
Yep.
And the water tanks also supply the vegetable garden as a standby and also water for the chooks.
Now there is some potential to extend under the main roof of the house, or even to construct another home beside the house. And as your true perfectionist style that I can see developing here, you've even allowed for the expansion with some new services and everything ready to go for another dwelling.
Yeah, well, this started off as an ancillary apartment that we decided we'd build first before building the main house. And we tried a lot of the design ideas in the ancillary apartment that we had in mind for the main house. And by the time we'd finished and got used to living small, we decided that we preferred to be minimalist, to live as small as possible and be energy efficient and comfortable. And so we decided to leave the main house as just a grassed area. And at the time we built the ancillary apartment, we put in power and phone to the edge of the building so that it could be easily extended. And we put an upstand in the main line down to the biolytics AWTS so that could be easily connected to the main house. But the way the house has been designed, it could easily be converted into at least 2 bedroom, possibly 3, with converting the office guest area into a proper bedroom. And the end workshop area bay that was added on recently could easily be lined inside and converted to a very comfortable bedroom with an ensuite and robe area.
Well, Graham, thanks for taking the time to talk to us about your unique sustainable home.
Thanks, Nick. It's a pleasure.
Well, thanks for taking the time to look around this amazing 8-star energy rated home that is a fine example of sustainable building design. If you would like to arrange a private inspection at any time, please call me, Nick Bond from Harcourts, on the numbers below.